Hey there, welcome to day 103 of playing chess every day until I reach 1500 Elo. Currently we're at 1247 after a win in our last game. And I was supposed to record this last night, but I got really tired again and passed out. So now, yeah, I'm recording a little bit earlier than next day. And let's go ahead and jump into another 15-minute rapid game. And okay, we're up against an 1129. I have kind of liked playing against the high rated opponents. I might actually just find a new game and try to see if I can get a little bit of a high rated opponent. Okay, there we go. 1282. Yeah, our last game we were up against like a 1320 or something like that. Okay, interesting. I guess this is going to be like the Queen's Indian setup or something. Not sure if I should adapt my playstyle at all by maybe just playing e4 instead of going for the London, but I don't know exactly what I would do to follow up that. So if he goes there, I'm here, maybe bishop here. Okay, I'm just gonna mix it up and try to play for the center. Okay, he doesn't go there right away, but he probably will though. And the bishop will pressure this pawn, so it's probably good to just fully block off by playing here, or maybe bishop here first. Just fully block the diagonal off with the pawn here. Queen's coming out, so there is going to be a check there. If this is here, check. Actually, then I don't have a great way to block, do I? I mean, I could block like that, but then I want to have the pawn chain. So maybe I should play here first and then use this bishop. Okay, let's go. Let's just go here first so there's no check. And then I'll have to have a different plan for that bishop. I think going here seems good. We want to maintain the control of the center. Then this pawn will be a little bit weak, but it will be defended by the knight. Otherwise, I'd push. He could take, I could take. Then it's not weak. This file's open. That seems okay as well. And if he doesn't take, then maybe I'll take. He takes, then we take the queen. He loses castling rights. Okay, I'm not totally sure if this is good, but I think I'm gonna go for this. Just totally deviating from any opening that I know here. Okay, take. If he takes right away, then I take again with check. So then I get 2 pawns, and he gets 1, I think. So I think he needs to take. Well, he might. Yeah, he'll need to take back with one of those, I think. Okay, he does. He takes back that way, which seems like both his queenside and his kingside are not super strong for castling now. I mean, he has the 2 pawns here, so kingside makes more sense, but this side is really bad. But he created a little bit of weakness on his kingside as well there. Let's see what else we can come up with. So is this a good move at all? Where does the knight go? Knight's able to come into quite a few places, so it's probably not that good. Could go here with a pin. If he goes here, we go back. Yeah, because he can't play that, because then he ruins both his kingside and his queenside. So I think I like that for a pin. And then we are threatening to push the pawn on the next move. Let's try that. And then let's try to get the light square bishop out and just get castled here in a sec. If I go here, okay, so we're not going to get the pin because he develops there. He's still threatening this pawn. So I kind of want to go here because then I'm immediately putting some pressure on this pawn. He has 3 defenders at the moment, but if the bishop develops and the king castles, then we have some pressure on the pawn. But maybe I should just go here and just hold on to this pawn for now. I could still push it just to get it safer. And then it's guarded by the knight. Or I just go here. Or knight comes out. Not sure which one I want to go with, really. I think if I had... Actually, if I did castle queenside and played f3, and then I have this pawn chain and my king super safe, that actually seems like a pretty good position. Because I don't want to end up losing this pawn or having to put a ton of effort into defending it. If I push it, it can be targeted. Actually, maybe it's not that hard, not that easy for him to actually target it and win it. If I push it, he goes to one of these squares. We can kick the knight again here. You can't take there, you can't go here. So if he does go here, I could attack it like this or something. Okay, I think I'm going to push it. I don't have a super clear plan, but it seems like maybe it'll be a good position. And then I will have to decide if I want to go ahead and take here. I think I probably will, because I don't really want him to take. Yeah, I mean, he will have two attackers, so I think I will need to take. Unless I want to throw a pawn forward to defend or something. So, oh yeah, actually three attackers because the knight. So yeah, I think let's go ahead and take first. Just to get that bishop out of the way. And then we can attack the knight. So the knight almost could end up getting trapped, but he's able to hop back and we trade. But he doesn't have many squares because this pawn cuts off some of his important squares, so he only has this to escape to. If I go here, that's guarded. I'd be threatening to trap his knight, but he probably could push his pawn. Well, if he pushes the pawn, I take it for free. What could he do to make it? I don't know if there's that much he could actually do to free his knight. Maybe he attacks here, attacks my pawn, but it's still guarded by my knight. But I think I might, even though this seems kind of like a hopeful idea, I don't know what his response will be, so I'm tempted to try to trap the knight there. Otherwise, I just go here and just allow him to trade the knight, but or maybe go here first, immediately pressure that. What's he gonna play next? Maybe here. Oh yeah, he can just guard the knight, but I could always attack it with the queen and the bishop. If I attack it like this right now, he hops back. Take. Bishop's here. We still need to guard the pawn, so okay, I think I am just gonna cut off his escape score because I don't want him to hop here at any point. I don't want to trade the knights and have the queen attacking the pawn. So yeah, hopefully that's okay. Pawn's guarded by the rook and the knight. This pawn's guarded by this knight. And then we are, I think, threatening to trap the knight, and he could try to defend it. If he plays here, I play en passant. So it might be hard for him to defend it. Actually, no, because if he plays here and I play en passant, he can take back again. So it's not actually trapped, I think. Okay, I like this right away because it looks at the knight and it also is looking over here at where the king is castled. Otherwise, I go with the queen first. Yeah, I think let's go with the bishop. Yeah, he defends it. Then I'm going to go here with the queen. Double attacking it. And then, yeah, I think he'll push the pawn. He'll take back. But then I do get rid of my weaker pawn, so it's probably good. Unless there's something else he can do, but I think to escape, I think he needs to do that. Yeah, it goes for that. Take up saw unless take. Yeah, that doesn't do anything. So yeah, I think we just take up saw. We get rid of our weaker pawn that could have been targeted. I mean, like, it's not isolated because I could have played this at some point, but while the knight's still here, it's kind of isolated for now. So I think just trading it off seems probably better. Um, okay, and then now we have the open diagonal towards the king. Let's get the last knight developed before anything else, unless we have an immediate threat. So, I mean, this is somewhat of a threat. Threatening to win the pawn. Probably pushes it and kicks the knight, but then his king side is weaker. I play that and then play back again. Then he gets a weaker king side, but I'm not sure if it's worth trading, giving him an extra tempo for, I guess, because then I hop back and then it's his turn when I could just develop the knight. So let's probably just develop the knight here. He looks over there. Probably just a c3. Thinking, where do I want to go? Here, the d2. They both look over to e4, so I can move into e4. I'm just gonna go c3. And then maybe castle queenside and try to just use my pawns to attack his kingside. Wait, actually, if I go here, I'm threatening. I didn't realize I'm actually threatening both these pawns. So, alright, I went ahead and developed the knight. Now I think I do want to play here, because then we have a double attack on the h7 and e6 pawns. Bishop looks there, queen looks here. But he only has one defender. Can't I just take here, take? He could take the knight, and then I double my pawns, I guess, but I'm still up a pawn. Oh no, he has the rook looking. So he would win a pawn back, and then I'd have these two isolated pawns. So, probably not good. Now, is this sacrifice a good idea? Take, he takes, I go check. Then again, we're double attacking this. Pretty interested in that sacrifice, actually. Can't go, actually I can go here, but then we just get trades. And I want to keep the bishop on the diagonal if I can. That doesn't work because the knight can take, even though this is pinned, I think, to the queen. So it's either sacrifice or go here and then take the trades. Because I don't think I want to take and do all this. He takes, I take, he takes. And then his rook is kind of infiltrated here. Do I have any follow-up after that? Wait. I think I do. Because then I have queen here to e4. Threaten this rook, and we threaten that rook. So we're forking the rooks. Does he have a way to defend them both? Okay, he doesn't have check because this pawn is still covering it. This rook is trapped. The knight can't develop out to here. I think, right, because this is with all the minor pieces traded. Here, 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 except for, no, this one's not traded. Yeah, except for those two knights. Okay, I think that works. Not totally sure. That was like pretty far calculation, and I didn't do a lot of thinking about the sacrifice. The sacrifice could have actually been good as well. But if I calculated this correctly, I think I fork the rooks at the end if he takes this pawn. And I don't think he can solve that problem. Unless the queen can guard them both while being protected. But it's on a dark square. It would have to go here, but that's not guarded. So I don't think it can do anything. If he didn't take, we're also double attacking here. If he didn't take the knight. Wait, is him taking first actually an issue? He takes first. I take, actually, that could be different. Because then I need to take back. He takes. No, but I'm just guarding it so the rook can't take. Well, the queen would be guarding the pawn and the bishop. Yeah, I don't know, actually, that complicates it if he takes first. That's why a lot of times I avoid these kind of complicated exchanges, because normally there's something or some move order that you miss. But I want to practice trying to go for them more and calculating them. I'm not totally sure if this will mess me up. I want to see if he plays it. And then we'll figure it out. Okay, he takes there. That makes it easier, I think, since this is what I was already looking at. Take. Take. Okay, and then we get our fork, and does this actually work, though, is what it's going to come down to, because I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, I don't think he doesn't have check here. Doesn't have anything with the queen. I don't believe. No check there. Queen can't go there. Okay, so the queen just goes to guard that rook. Oh, okay, well that is a little bit of an issue, because then I win the rook. He takes. Well, if he takes, then I take the knight with check. So I don't think it's that threatening, right? Because it's not a check. Does he have a different check now? No, he doesn't have this. That's not check. I really would like to castle. Wait, can I castle first? Because the knight still can't escape. I guess I would just take the knight if he blocked with it, and then the rook could escape. So we'd be winning the knight instead of the rook. Is castling first safer, or should I just take the rook? Castle. King goes here. Wait, if I castle right away, he could just play check. And then I take, and then he takes, and then I don't win anything. I think I should just take the rook, but I'm a little bit intimidated by this attack that he has, even though I don't see a check right away. But if he comes in, I think as long as I'm taking the knight with check and it's pinned to the king on the next move, I think it's okay. So let's try it. I hope. Oh, he has check there. I didn't even see that check. Okay, but I can go back and block though, and the knight's here. So actually that's fine. Or I could block with the knight, but I think I'd rather block with the queen and try to trade. Does he have another check? Yeah, actually, like I didn't even see this check. I always missed. There's always like obvious checks that I miss when it comes to queen moves. So yeah, I think I'm gonna come back here. Okay. Wait. Here, can he sack? No, because then I just take the queen. Okay, let's go for that. So then we're up the rook. That was A little bit scary. I thought something worse might happen. Maybe it still will, but I don't see anything. Doesn't have the check here. Can't take this now. So we're just going to try to get the queen trade. I mean, it wouldn't really make sense for him to take the queen, but yeah. Said he goes back, but now we can just castle and not really worry if he takes the pawn. Yeah, we're not worried about the pawn. Anything else though? Yeah, let's just get the king safe. We're up a rook. King safe, yeah, he could check and then we just trade like I was worried about before, but now I've already won the rook, so it doesn't matter. Okay, let's go ahead and do it. As long as the king can get safe and we're up a rook, then I think we're looking pretty good there. But I wish I had seen this check, because like it could have been a more dangerous check, and it seems like a pretty obvious one. Luckily it wasn't dangerous, but I need to just get better at actually like noticing all the checks beforehand. I was only looking on the longer diagonal checks and not the first square. Okay, takes that. Can I play here? No, he has two attackers. Would like to be able to do that. I could play here and just attack his pawn. Can he attack anything? Knight's here. This would be a fork, actually. You know what I could do is I could probably attack the knight. How does he guard the knight? If I could attack the knight and force him to move the knight, although he can't, it's just cut off. So I think he would guard it with the queen. He'd have to guard it like this or like this. Or create some other kind of attack. But the idea is if I could attack the knight and the queen and rook didn't move, then I could fork them. I don't see that quite working though. I could also attack it and then... What does he do if I attack it? Yeah, I think just guard it with like that, like that. I think that's it. And I can't bring the rook in. Do I have any checks after that? No, I'm not sure. I don't quite see a follow-up to it. Wait, I can also just... No, never mind. The queen covers that. I was thinking I could check there for a second. Maybe I'll go here, threaten this to force a queen trade, and threaten the fork at the same time. And we'll be threatening the knight, like we'll be threatening a lot of stuff. So I think I like that. And we're already threatening, you know, trying to get a trade. So trade or fork or fork. Let's try it. Hopefully I can just convert my advantage here properly. And he has check here, but then I just trade anyway, so that check doesn't seem to help. So if he doesn't take, and I have two attackers here, I can go ahead and give the check. Either win the knight, or queen takes, check again, then we win the knight. Yeah, I mean, it seems like we have a lot of threats going on. And of course threatening the fork here. Although if we do fork here, actually he has the check. And after the check, I think because the knight blocks off my queen's ability to take. After the check, I'm not sure what I would do. Oh, actually, I didn't realize he could go there, but either way, we just get the queen trade now. But he is able to guard the square with the knight. But yeah, now we just take the queen, which is good. And then we'll try to trade here. I could actually, no, I can't give check because the knight's still there. Could go here, attack the rook, but no, let's just bring this out and try to trade. Just simplify the position as much as we can. And then yeah, I have to figure out where I do want my knight to go. Go here and attack that pawn. Probably pushes, come in there. Yeah, I need to just find a good square for the knight. Get it maybe active somewhere in the center and just try to trade everything off. And I don't have any pass pawns yet, but he does have a pass pawn, but it's in the middle isolated, and I have the 2 rooks, so should be something that we can prevent pretty easily. So where can he go? Rook can't go to the side, he can only go over here, attack this pawn. Oh, okay, well, yeah, let's take the trade. Now he's going to get connected past pawns, but I'm up the rook. Going to get our king active. Oh, he doesn't do that. Okay, so what do we want to do? Check. Check, he can't come down to here, so we could go to the side. I could give check with the knight. Or he could come here, but then I go here and we attack everything. Check with the knight. Just check with the rook. Actually, wait, no, I can just attack everything right now. What am I saying? Yeah, let's just go in and attack right now. Well, actually, this one's guarded by the knight, but we're pressuring these guys, so the king is kind of a little bit tied to them, and then I can try to walk my king up, or maybe give check with the rook here. Or with the knight, I mean. Could also just attack his knight, or maybe push my pawn and try to chase his knight away to attack this pawn. He moves, but then I go here, and then I don't think he has a way to defend this pawn, actually, and the knight. Let's try that. Here. Yeah, I don't think he needed to push the pawn, because the knight was guarding it for now. Okay, knight moves. Just double check there's nothing that's going to happen afterwards. Yeah, I can take, and he can threaten the rook, but it's not a fork. So let's go ahead and take. And then if we can get both these pawns and then just start pushing here, then that should be good. Okay, pushing that seems kind of useless, because it can't... Well, I guess if he pushes this, then I take, then it runs. So take here. Then I could just drop back to defend it, though, maybe. Then he could push, but I would have a good amount of time to get back to defend with my pieces. Wait, actually, also, if he pushes, I can just give check and then take with the knight. So I think I would just do that. Let's take here. Okay, he attacks it that way. Probably will just defend here. Maybe give check first. Maybe just immediately push my pawn. No, I think I'll defend first. And he could attack like that, but I could still give the check and then take. But yeah, I think I want to defend because his pawn, if he does take, let me see, take, another move to get back. Then, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to promote. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess maybe I do beat him to promotion. It still seems a little bit close in case I mess something up, so let's just defend for now. Then if I push, and then he takes, then I gain 1 tempo, I think, because I get to push first. Okay, now I'm going to go for this. We have 2 attackers here. Oh wait, no, he does have 2 defenders. I forgot that the knight also guards that now. Take. Do that check. Yeah, do I want to give the check? Check. I'm just gonna take this. Okay. And then I think I do need to stop the pawn. I could go here. He's a couple moves from getting to me. Actually, no, let's just go here and trade the knight right away. And then I just use the rook to block. That's all. That's the simplest way. Yeah. There we go. And then all he has is the king and these two pawns. So let's... How do I want to do that? No, just go here. I could just go here, cut that off. He goes over to try to prevent it. Then I should be able to just run my pawn. I could even just sack the rook there. Or is it better to just go back and just... Yeah, let's just go back, actually, and just sack it when he pushes it. Because that gives us more time. Okay, and then I can start pushing. Let's go. Pushing that pawn, too. Okay. But I can always use my king against this pawn, so I think that that helps. Maybe I'll even do the king right now. Or do I promote? Try to push and promote first. Yeah, let's just push. Because I'm 2 moves from promoting. Take there. And let's just put the queen here. And then there's no way for his king to even come here. And then double attack. And, you know, let's just... I mean, I could just take there and have him take the rook. Just to remove any risk of his pawn. And then check. He can go over. I don't have a mate right away, so let's just not get a stalemate. That's the most important thing. So maybe I'll just wait. He does have a square, right? Yeah, he has that square. He can go between them. I'll just push the other pawn. He can go back and forth because otherwise I need to walk my king around. I could also just do that. No, let's just push the pawn. Okay, and then what would be the best way? Can I just go here? There we go. Okay. Didn't want to mess up and blunder something right at the end, get a stalemate or something like that. So yeah, we skipped the first guy because he was a little bit lower rated, and we got against a guy who was high 1200s, a little bit higher rated, and we got another win. So now I gained 9 points again from that, which was nice. Let's check the game review. I wonder if there were any... My game review disappeared. Let's get that back up. I wonder if there were any big mistakes that I made, because I did play a couple riskier moves that I normally don't play, like trying to go for that rook fork calculation, which actually worked out though. So I wonder if there was something he missed, if he did ever have a better response. Okay, no, it looks like, well, I did have misses. I had 2 misses. I had 88.9 accuracy, so pretty good accuracy, like almost 90. He had 79.6, and yeah, there are 2 misses. I had 2 mistakes. He had his 1 blunder, 1 miss, 1 mistake. Gave me a 1950 game rating and him a 1600. And I had a lot of best moves, I'm noticing. My best move count is like extremely high. So even though I had some mistakes, I want to see what those were, and some misses. I think I played a lot of otherwise like solid moves in between. So let's check the game review and see exactly what happened. Oops. Oh, okay, so that was best to push. Oh yeah, and I wasn't even playing an opening I've ever played before. We just like were winging it. So we pushed that pawn. That was best. That's kind of crazy, actually, that I instantly have a 1.69 advantage here from this opening. So he clearly didn't like have a plan for what I was doing. But that was my mistake. But that was his miss. Wait, why though? Because I thought that if I take, he takes, this just seems... kind of good. I mean, it's not that good. It's not amazing, but I mean, white is winning 0.57, but I guess I lost some of the advantage. So that mistake went from 1.69 back down to like half a point advantage, basically. So it didn't make him, he's not winning, but it just gave away some of my advantage. So that's why it was a mistake. I still don't know exactly why. I guess just keeping, I don't know. I mean, normally trading the queens off like that right away and forcing their king to not castle while you still have rooks and everything else on the board normally is a bad position. So yeah, I wasn't worried about that, but yeah, the engine didn't like it as much. This was a miss. It did want me to push the pawn right away. So both my misses here, no, one of his misses were very early, and then one of my misses were very early. We went for the pin first, but then right after we played this, it was still best. Kick the knight, get the trade. Okay, didn't like that as much. Yeah, I knew this was kind of like a hope move, but I didn't see what he would do. And I think after I played it, I realized he would go like that and then we take en passant. But I still liked the end position that we would get from that anyway. So I went ahead and went for it. I didn't see any major downside to this, except for maybe slightly delaying development by just one move. Oops. So yeah, it prefers me to just go ahead and get the bishop out right away. And then let's see where it wants him to go after that. Oh, it just wants him to defend it like that. And then we attack again, and then same thing with the pawn. No, then he goes back, because then we do take this trade. I didn't really want this trade, though. I guess, no, we don't need to take it, because the queen can... Oh, no, but the bishop's looking too, so we kind of do want to take it, right? I guess. I mean, we have two defenders, so... But if he takes here, then I have to mess up my pawns, which I don't want to do. Oh, no, never mind. It wants the knight to guard. I see. Okay, makes sense. So we played that, then we got this. That was best. That's best. Take en passant. Okay, we're all good. And that was all stuff that we had kind of calculated beforehand. So this was a mistake. I thought about this for a little bit. I was thinking, which square do I want to get the knight to? The only reason I hesitated to play knight c3, because normally knight c3 is better, because it's a little bit more towards the center. Only reason I hesitated was because of, like, if the pawns come in here, then it's going to have to move again. But it seemed like I would be able to do more before that would happen. So I didn't think it was a big deal. But the engine actually hated that move. It gave him a winning advantage. I was winning before, and then now it goes to minus 0.7. Let's see the follow-up. Oh, he just takes there, and then I have to double the pawns up. Okay. Which is what I really didn't want to do unless I was going to win something after. Oh, that's all it is. It's because it's not guarding the knight. And I didn't realize at the time that that he could have just doubled the pawns by trading that. And then I have this really weak double isolated pawn structure. So, okay, that makes total sense. I just overlooked that I needed to defend that again to avoid that. So that's why that was a mistake. And I think that was my last mistake. And then this was a mistake by him. Oh, yeah, I wanted to sacrifice. So this was my miss to actually take. The sacrifice seemed a little bit more risky because I'm actually giving away material immediately. And I'm only winning one pawn for it, and I'd have to... I didn't see the follow-up right away. I guess here, 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 check. Then the queen is opened up to come in. So if he goes back, we come in, we're threatening, not... Yeah, we are threatening mate because the knight covers that. So then what does he play? Can the queen guard it? Threatening mate on h7. The queen can't look at h7. The rook can't look at h7. So I think he actually has to go here. Okay, I want to see that whole sequence. So let's see what happens. Take. Wait, what if he doesn't take? Is that really bad? That's a miss. So it does want him to take. Gives us a plus 1.82. So nothing crazy. It's not like we're getting a checkmate right away. Oh, it wants him to come down though. Okay, yeah, when it wants him to come down, that's a pretty bad sign. Because that's really hard to play for a real human, even if the engine is okay with it. So let's say he would go back, because that's more realistic. That's a mistake. 3.7 now. So I think he would have played this. I don't think he would have come down. And then we come here. So yeah, this is a huge advantage. Here, oh, I didn't see he could play that. Just to guard h7. But then we still take with check. Then he blocks. Take, fork. Okay, yeah, that's a nice sequence there. We would have won a lot. I was really interested in that, but I kind of stopped calculating it once I found the fork on the rooks, because then I became really interested in that line. So I gave up on calculating the sacrifice. But maybe if I continue calculating it, maybe I would have gone for it. I was definitely interested in that. So yeah, called that my miss, and we're down to we're about even actually on the eval. So let's see. So this was all fine. He trades, and then I think this is gonna be a mistake. Oh yeah, his blunder there. So I think because I calculated this all beforehand, and I was playing these moves fairly quickly, I don't think he was as scared. He played this pretty fast as well, and I don't think he was as scared because he didn't think that there was a threat here. If I had paused here for a long time and then, or like on the previous move for a long time and then played it, he might have been a little more cautious. But I think because I calculated all like 2 moves prior, he didn't have as much of a guard up. Because these couple moves I played quickly, so then it worked really nicely. Once he took it, fell into that trap. So if he didn't take, I still would have been stuck. I mean, I was assuming he was going to take, which he did. If he didn't take, I would have been stuck with these really bad pawns. We're up 1 pawn, but these are major weaknesses. So, like, the engine doesn't even really favor our position. It's 0.34 advantage. So we're still fine, but I was kind of relying on him taking here, which he did. And then immediately we have a 4.7 advantage. It wants him to actually just sack for the knight. Yeah, oh yeah, that makes sense. I didn't even think of him doing that, but that makes sense. And then I'm gonna be up some material, but I'm gonna have these really terrible double pawns over here now too. And I'm like, all my pawns are bad. They're all isolated, and these ones are doubled. So that would have been a good move of him to play, but he didn't find it. Then I missed this check, although luckily it didn't really make a big difference. We just offered the queen trade, and then we ignored this pawning at castle, which was the best move. Offered the trade there. It actually didn't like this one that much. It says good. I felt like this was a really strong move. Why was it not though? It wants him to just take. I mean, I still have the 4.7 advantage, or no, 5.5. So it doesn't really make a big difference, but the engine preferred the king to come over here instead of playing queen to d4. But I don't know why, because this check isn't a threat right now. We just trade queens. Maybe this check could become a threat later at some point, and that's what the engine's worried about. So, yep, I didn't see any concern with that. So we played that, and now we get our queen trade, which was essentially forced after putting the queen on d4, because otherwise we would have been able to win material here, I think. Okay, that was best. We get the trade. Everything was looking good. And then I just got a little bit worried about some kind of quick trick where he was able to get these 2 pass pawns across the board really quick. So that's why I took my time here at the end. Didn't want to mess that up. But it turned out to be fine. He prefers the rook to check here. But then he comes down. The rook's just under attack. Then we block. Okay. To me, that looked... Having the hanging rook and the king coming more to the center didn't look as good, so I didn't want to play that. Even though the engine likes it, I think what I played was totally good here. Because we forced the knight trade, and it makes it a lot easier. Okay, and then nothing really to look at here. So it's pretty straightforward. And yeah, I didn't have it like an immediate mate, so pushing the pawn was best. Because it would have been, I would have had to walk the king around or something to like do the king checkmate. So it would have probably taken just as long as just pushing the pawn. And then we got the mate there, yeah. Pretty straightforward game, I think. The one, let me go back to the mistakes real quick. That was my mistake because the double pawns, yeah, that could have been kind of bad if he saw that would have been in a lot worse of a position. And then this. Oh wait, no, was this? That was his mistake. I meant this was my mistake. Not developing the knight here to guard, so I should have seen that. I should always be watching out for any chance for him to do a capture like that doubles my pawns, but I did miss that one. And then this mistake, I don't feel like this was that big of a mistake, but the engine really says it was. And it's not like he's winning, but it's just because it prefers, I guess, this control in the center over trading that off and then trading the queens off, and his king comes out and we kind of go into an early endgame. And then, oh yeah, my miss here to not push the pawn right away because it wants to immediately get the knight over here and then use that to develop with tempo, I think, and put the knight in trouble. So we played it right after, so that was fine. Yeah, nothing else too crazy. And then this was the main tactic that won us the game. And then he didn't find the correct move of just sacking that, because that would have still been, it wouldn't have been completely over if he had done that. Here, here. I mean, it's plus, it says plus 4.88. So I guess it is kind of over, but. Oh yeah, because he's still. Never mind, because I'm still going to take this rook. So actually, that wasn't best, right? I mean, it says, the engine says it was best, but don't I win more material from that? Because this rook is still hanging and trapped in by the knight. So I don't know why that was best. What does it want him to play here? It wants him to play queen here. Then I can take with check. Yeah, this looks, I don't even know why I actually wanted him to take the knight, because this just seems worse. I could take with check, or I can take the rook. But I'm a little, is there, no, the queen doesn't get trapped, right? Yeah, the queen can't get trapped because the knight's pinned. Oh, but he takes with check here, so then he'll create a lot of his own threats with the queen. Okay. Okay, either way, we were totally winning, though. Because I would still have a lot of threats if he sacked for the knight. So that's why he defended instead. And yeah, I don't think there was too much else, any important takeaways there. I'm glad that the random kind of opening that I went for, just trying to control the center and just play like by principles rather than a specific opening, I'm glad that that worked out. I've had times where I tried that and then it didn't work out as well, but this time it did, so that was cool. And yeah, this has been day 103. We're up to 1256 Elo now, so we have crossed 1250. So that's a pretty nice milestone. And thanks for watching. I'll see you guys on day 104.